Looks like we have 10 of us. I know that Representative Chandler will not be here today. He called me last night and did that. Representative McConkey's just walking in, so that's good. So I would like to convene and let's have the Pledge of Allegiance, and we'll start our meeting. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There. We have a few handouts that you have. One of them is Kathy Gary of the Administration Office did send us a 2001 salary survey for the New Hampshire counties. That's about 4 pages with min and max. She also, and I have to say thank you to the office for putting down, right now we also have exactly what our elected officials in Carroll County are making, but also what they're making the other 9 counties. You have your agenda, and then there is a set of minutes for the old nursing home that met on April 9th, and we also have the Bonnet and Page Stone memo dated March 14th. I also, for members that were here on the 9th, Representative McCarthy went down for an attendance sheet, and I don't know, Representative McConkey, what you want to do, or have everyone sign that. I don't know who was here. You don't get $25 for the day, but if you do sign in, you get mileage. So that's what we have in front of us. Is there any public input? Yes, sir. Mr. Brown. Yes, Mr. Brown.
Yes, the old nursing home situation, is this going to go out to bid?
We are going to have a report from the old nursing home, so they will answer that question when we get there.
But do you plan on approving this today?
I assume, I'm waiting to hear what the report of the old nursing home is going to do.
Will this, if this project is approved today, is it going to go out to bid?
Representative McConkey, do you want to answer that question or wait till your report?
Yep, thank you. I would suspect that we'd talk about that when we get to that section, but as I'd said at the subcommittee meeting, the bidding process, there's a policy that's in place by the commissioners. It is their policy. It is you know, to be followed.
Well, why don't you wait till Representative McConkey finishes his answer? And Representative Algren,
so
just a moment,
it's my full intention that everything is going to go out to bid, but that's commissioner's duty.
Yes, Mr. Brown.
It's not a commissioner's policy, it's state law. As part of your duties as state representative, aren't you supposed to uphold the laws of the state of New Hampshire? And if that to be the case, could you please explain to your constituents how you could go forward today and approve to expend their tax dollars for your constituents' tax dollars on an illegal contract? Because this thing, which I haven't seen, the Bonnet, Page, and Stone memo, that should have in fact gone out to bid. So why didn't that? I don't recall that the design phase of the old nursing home ever going out to bid. So how can you approve? The whole thing seems to be in violation of state law. So how can you expend your constituents' tax dollars on an illegal contract?
Okay. Anything else?
That'll be it for now, thank you.
Okay, Representative McConkey.
Yeah, I'd just like to respond quickly. I surely appreciate the passion of the gentleman. When I say the commissioners, they're state. I totally agree that there are practices established by the state, RSAs that the commissioners are bound to, and I would hope many of your concerns will be addressed going forward, and I agree that it should be a bid process as to whatever process is outlined by the state RSAs. Thank you.
Okay. Is there any further public input? Seeing nothing. Representative Algren, you had your hand up, so did you, Representative McCarthy. I would prefer to have the discussion about the old nursing home when we have the report, and then we can do that if that's what you were talking about.
I'm good.
You're good?
I didn't have my hand up.
I thought you had your hand up. Representative Babson.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I'd like to point out to Mr. Brown that there was no charge for what Bonnet, Page and Stone has done. The question will come up if Bonnet, Page and Stone doesn't get the job, then what happens? Now, whether you agree or don't agree that perhaps it should have gone out to get various people's ideas of what we could have done, that's another issue.
And I would like,
as far as I was concerned, there's no money involved, so they didn't need to go out for a bid.
okay, is there any further input? Yes, Mr. Brown, I'm not going to have a running argument
No,
here.
I just
Let me
would
tell
like to
you.
respond to Representative Babson. But to that point, Representative Babson, wasn't it also noted that if they had not, if Bonnet, Page and Stone does not get this contract, there is going to be a charge?
That's what I just said.
Well, right, so that would mean that there is a charge gonna be behind it, come either way, whether it's Bonnet, Page and Stone just charges for the design phase, but even if they get the job, you're paying for the design phase irregardless, so there is a cost for that.
Is there any further public input? Yes, sir. Damien.
Regarding the old nursing home, I was thinking about it the other day, and a lot of the representatives are concerned about expansion of county government or, the county getting into the real estate business. Would there be any consideration of, partitioning off the wings and then selling them off to a private company?
I have not. I'm waiting to have the report from the old nursing home subcommittee, and I'm sure that Representative McConkey is taking down the issues, and we'll address them when we get there.
Okay, maybe we could address that one. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there any further public input? Okay. All right, thank you very much. I would like now to set the salaries for our elected officials. I know we usually do it in June prior to or late May, but because we're going to be here and we are here, I figured that this would be a way to do it so that we don't have another meeting expense. Representative Algren, you have a question.
Thank you. Yeah, I was just waiting for the public input there. This is a little off the track, but we're passing around the attendance sheet for the subcommittee meeting that we had last Monday.
Yes.
And I did attend that, and I did attend that meeting, but I'm not an official member of the subcommittee, but all of us were invited. Should I sign the attendance of being there since I came, or is that only for subcommittee members?
This is only for mileage. This had nothing to do with, this is for mileage.
The 9th is for mileage only. And Representative McConkey, everyone that came, can they apply for?
I would think that would be fair.
Yeah. So if you were here, whether you're a member of the committee or not, that is fine for mileage. And I were talking about mileage, and I would like to have somebody put this on. When we made our motion for our secretary to have a $200 per meeting for the minutes, we also included the mileage, and are we still okay with that? And if we are, for clarification, when we go into convention, if we need so, we will be sure that it is with mileage. It makes it so she gets 2 checks instead of just 1. And is everybody happy with that? You get 2 checks instead of 1 if we continue. So will somebody, I'll try to remember when we go in convention, just to clarify mileage.
We need a motion on that at that point.
Is it, do you want to, yes, do you want, Representative Fleck, would you like to make a motion to clarify that the, Michelle, the recording secretary, would also get mileage along with $200 a day?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, and Representative Marrow seconds it. Okay, you understand where we are? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed?
No.
No.
No, which one, 2? Representative Babson and Treganza in the negative. But the motion carries, so that's okay. All right. So, yes, Representative Merrill.
Now that we're finally getting to the salaries, I think, Could somebody just tell me, when you're looking at these different counties, which of these counties are approximately the same size as Carroll? I'm not sure. As far as population or whatever else that goes with this. It's hard to make a comparison just looking at some of these counties with the disparity in the
I think Belknap is bigger than we are. Right?
Yeah.
And maybe Ian Ayton from Registry of Deeds can give us can you give us a rundown?
I can say that, you know, in my department, we reflect closest to Belknap than any. We're always like within 100, 200 documents. We are larger than, in volume of what we record, than Sullivan, than Coas, and then Cheshire. So we're right about in the middle of the pack, pretty much.
Okay. As far as recording of deeds is,
That's correct.
doesn't mean that that is population. Representative McCarthy.
Is that population? I didn't hear.
No, all it is recording of deeds. That's the amount. That she says that what happens is Cheshire, Coas, and Sullivan have less recording of deeds, less volume, and we apparently line up just about even in the Registry of Deeds recording of deeds with Belknap, but that is not population.
That may be reflective of the second home
The second home market.
level that we
Yes.
have here.
Commissioner, did you have anything that you wanted to add? Does that give you approximately good enough? I know that Rockingham, Merrimack, and Hillsborough are way out of our league everywhere because they're so much bigger than we are. Representative-wise, Coas has less reps. I think we're at 14, and I think that Grafton is Grafton's got 18. So that, and Stratford, I don't know how many reps Stratford has. Does that give you a clue, Representative Merrill?
Yeah.
Just about where we are. We're not small, but we're not huge, and we're probably, yeah, I would say probably Stratford. I would think Stratford and Grafton about the same, but I don't have my black book to know the numbers of reps.
I think we're probably second from the bottom in population.
Yeah. Okay, has anybody got their black book? That's where you could tell. I don't have my black book with me. Yes,
I know the
Representative
Coas,
Albright.
I just heard the Coas, their 43,000 was their census. The chair, just happenstance, the chair was mentioning that 43,000 is the population of Coas, and ours was what, 52, was it? I think the new census was about 52, went from 46 to 52. I know it was 46, and I think it bumped it to 52. So, but second from the bottom, I think is, there's at least one with less.
Well, 3,200 times 15 should give you an idea of our
There you go.
population.
Yeah.
We got 14. There's
Well,
only
we're going to 15.
Oh, we are going to 15.
Actually,
didn't know that. Yes,
I can tell you
Representative.
what the population in Carroll is. It's 3088 times 14.53. So whatever that comes out to, that's what it is.
Representative Merrill, if you want to do the math, you're much better at it than I am.
That's fine. I'm all set.
Okay. All right, so I think that
Coas
we're
is
in.
least.
Yeah.
Carroll is next least.
Right, and then it goes from there.
And then it goes from there.
And we haven't got a clue we're nowhere near Hillsborough and Merrimack and Rockingham. The souther you go, the bigger they get. Are there any, so that's what we have in the elected salaries. I do know that the county attorney is here, and I would like to give him a chance to, since this is the first time he's gone through a setting of salaries, Attorney Dewhurst, if you would like to give us a pitch, we can see where we want to go. Thank you.
Madam Chairman, members of the delegation, thank you. I really wasn't sure what I was supposed to have today because we really weren't instructed. You have before you the average salaries of the other 10 counties. Carroll is one of the lowest salaries in the state for county attorney. As far as sizes of counties, I approach this from just a common sense standpoint. Our office is comparable with Belknap, probably Grafton, many of the other counties. It all depends on you know, what crime comes before us. The caseload, the cases, you know, depending on the wheel of fortune, whatever case comes down, this last year and this year, we've had very active years. The annual report reflects an increase in crime. Our assistant county attorneys, which this delegation, we appreciate raising their salaries with the support of the commissioners, was well warranted. It's hard to keep employees employed here just because of the overall expense. My particular position, when I came here, apparently it was approved at $70,000 plus a single person benefit. That doesn't really affect me because I don't need a single person. I have a family. The numbers associated with that particular benefit are approximately $7,400 to myself, or $19,000 if it was a family plan. I have to contribute. My family contributes to my family plan through my wife. But as far as the salary is concerned, I had picked in the workshop phase a figure of $82,500 or $80,000. Basically, this is just an expense thing. I don't get a car. We're responsible for traveling all around the county and also participating in state functions. So I'm constantly on the road. I travel 88 miles each day. And there is a lot to this job. So I've heard all kinds of analyses, you know, over the last year of, you know, whether or not we should be paid based upon other counties or Coos County. All I can say is what my responsibilities are here in Carroll. And whoever does this job needs the money to run it. As a suggestion, if part of the $7,400 could be part of the raise, if you were so inclined to give one this year, just so that it doesn't get excluded. When I came here for the budget process 2 years ago, or a year ago, that $7,400 came right off the budget. That amount went towards balancing the budget, and I got no part of that. So other than that, I would welcome the opportunity for an increase that adjusts for that, or it could be bifurcated. If someone comes here to the county and needs that benefit, it could be included in that amount.
Okay, so give me a number, and we'll figure out whether it comes from health or not. What are you asking for us in a number? You get 70 now, and I know that you've given us what, a 82.5?
Yeah, that's fine if it includes that. You know, figure. I wouldn't say, because I'm not sure. I did receive and give to Representative Algren all of the county data, and I'm not positive whether they get benefits or whether they get additional benefits or whether they have autos or what. I really don't have that information.
Okay. So what you're...
But that's a starting point. And
82.5 is where you want to start. I just need to know what you want to start, and then we can go...
That's comfortable with me, which would include the benefits, but I just don't want it subtracted, because that's what happened when I came here.
Okay.
Just in all due fairness, whoever does the job.
Yes, and I understand. I just want to be sure that we come up with where you want to start. Doesn't mean that that's where we're going to end.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but
and I respectfully appreciate that.
Okay, Representative Babson and then Representative McCarthy.
Attorney Dewar, I'm not so concerned that you have to drive down here and back every day. We all go to work that way.
Absolutely.
But I got a question. Do you get mileage if you leave here to go to do work on a case?
Yes.
You do?
Yes, we do.
Well, I'm talking about you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So that is in your budget. You get a mileage out of your operating budget?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Representative McCarthy, and then Representative McConkey.
Yeah, I just like to make it, bring out the point that, you know, we just gave the workers of the county, not us, the commissioners, I think a 30-cent an hour raise. And, you know, and people are going to look at the word loyalty and realize that loyalty is a two-way street. And in order to get loyalty, you have to show loyalty. And we gave the workers of the county, I believe, 30 cent an hour raise. I think we got to be very, very careful what we do with the elected officials and giving them, you know, much larger increases than the workers of the county got. I don't think it's going to look too good. The workers won't be happy with it, and I don't think the voters will be happy with it either. So I know there are some disparities here between the different counties, but I think we got to look very carefully at what we're doing and think about the entire picture. And I would just like to make one comment on the insurance. I understand the boat you're in, because I'm in the same boat, being retired. I get TRICARE for life. My wife worked for a long time. She never collected insurance. The problem is, if we base an increase in your salary on that insurance, what happens the next time when somebody else comes in and they don't have what you have? They're going to want that salary that you got plus the insurance. So we've got to be careful with that.
That's why I suggested, Representative, that it could be included as if someone had it or if they didn't, in that total figure.
Representative McConkey and then Representative Umberger.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Attorney Dewhurst, two questions, if I could. As an elected official, are you entitled to health insurance paid for by the county?
Mm-hmm. Single person, right?
Single person?
Yeah. Yes.
And you're not using that benefit?
No,
okay.
No, sir.
Thank you. And tell me, as when you were elected and became the county attorney, are you precluded from acting privately outside of here, all activities?
No.
Thank you.
Criminal law.
Criminal law, they are, yes. I would think you cannot do criminal law, but you can do civil. Representative Umberger.
Yes. I'm a little confused on the mileage. He said he received mileage if he had to go someplace
from here.
From here. So that includes meetings or, you know, things he has to do down in the state, or if he has a something or other. But it doesn't include mileage if someone dies in a car accident at night and he has to go from his home.
No, mileage does include that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your mileage covers everything except your commute.
That's correct.
Okay, that's what I needed to make sure I understood.
Yep. And we're very strict on that at the county attorney's office. And I try and handle the northern matters either on the way home or if I can do that, so that there isn't a mileage thing, and I include it in that daily travel. Okay. And because we do appreciate that.
Yep. Yes. At least we get mileage too. We get mileage from home.
Yeah,
not
we
for
typically have to attend meetings up there for the Child Advocacy Center and different matters. If there's a court hearing or something, and I can pick up records or do things like that, I try and do that as part of my daily travels.
Okay, thank you. Are there any further questions on the county commissioner?
I'd just like to ask the attorney, what is the highest paid assistant county attorney? Is that person going to be making more than what you're making now?
I believe that is
the same, I guess.
Is now the same, plus a full family benefit plan or a two-person benefit plan.
Okay.
Which would be about 14,000, I think.
Is it two-family is 14,000? Okay. Representative Babson.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Did I understand the question properly? Your assistant is making the same amount of money you are?
Yes, sir.
With the increase.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, and that position statewide, if you, we have detailed ones here at the county. The deputy county attorney, who normally has quite a caseload and supervisory responsibility. This office is as busy as any county attorney's office. I think Rockingham's up at 94. Some of the regular assistants are at 84, 80. I realize that these are big salaries from Carroll County, but the problem is, and we found out all last year, that people just won't come here that are qualified. And we're just very thankful that we are able to have 3 that are willing to stay at the present time.
We did, the salary range that we did for our assistants was 70,000. There was a 50,000 and was it a 64? I know.
60.
70,000, 60,000, and a 54,000? 50. So that's where our assistant, okay.
And as I said, all 3 of those are much lower than even in the private municipal sector, such as a town.
Yep.
For district court prosecution and not superior court prosecution.
Are there any further questions of the county attorney? Representative Umberger.
Yeah, but that's generally higher than private attorneys earn per year.
This is our pay scale. Are you saying you believe that the pay scale in the county is higher for our assistant attorneys than they are in the private sector?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a correct statement?
No,
I can't
no,
quite
and in fact, the
believe
public
that.
defender's office, I'm told, is paid more than we are.
I'm not talking about public workers. I'm talking about
private attorneys?
Yeah,
Private attorneys in the private in the private industry out there. Do they make less than our assistant county attorneys? I can't, Representative Umberger, I can't buy that we pay more than the private industry in attorneys.
No, not for their skill level, and no, not at all. They're some of the lowest paid individuals probably in the state in this office.
I can only go upon people that have talked to me about attorney salaries. That's all.
Okay, if you have that, I would have to see, because I have always been under the impression that the private sector pays a lot more than the county, at least here in Carroll County. And if you can say yes or no to that,
That's a
or
definite.
Representative Umberger,
we had to keep track of these things. I ran a private practice for now 25 years. So.
Mm-hmm.
The salaries for private attorneys are much higher than the county attorney's office.
Okay, all right. Okay, are there any further questions on what we would like to do? Representative Umberger, would you like to say that for all of us?
No.
Okay, thank you very much. We will. I'd like now to have a discussion on what do we want to do. There is the salary that is happening now for our county attorney is at 70,000. His assistants get 70,000, 60,000, 50,000. Do we want to do anything different with the county attorney's salary? For discussion, Representative Umberger.
Yeah, I would say that we could move it to the 77.4, with the understanding that if in fact someone decides they want health insurance, that they have to pay for it out of that money. You know, whatever arrangements, so they could be on the plan if they chose, but it would be at their cost. And then if you decided not to, then you could. So that would be my thought.
So 77.4, and that would include the pay, if they wanted a single family or family plan or 2-person, that they would have to pay the benefit themselves. Is
That's
that what you're
correct.
saying? Yes. Representative Algren, you had your hand up. Then I'll talk to Representative Merrow and McConkey.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think that we need to be careful in regard to the setting of the salaries plus or minus the benefit, because I don't know if the other employees on the campus have these options. So usually when you set up a benefit plan, there have to be a cafeteria plan. It sounds like we're setting up what they call a cafeteria plan. I just want to make sure that we all, we have a conference with our accountants to make sure that doing it like that is acceptable. I believe it would be, as long as they're paying that tax on that money, and it doesn't become a benefit. So as long as they're still being taxed on it, it doesn't become a tax-free benefit, I believe it would be okay. And then also, as we discuss, a lot of this commuting mileage versus going to a site mileage we have to be careful about fairness versus what the IRS says